Dave Kinzer rolled in here frustrated with his fourth-place finish in the Fram Dash. The first thing they started doing was working on tires.
Well, really wasn't frustrated. We had 6 quick time and went out late, and then I was able to get to the into the dash, and they drew a 4 pill, which put me in the back of the dash. Right. So anyways, we moved up another row. We start the second row, so we keep tweaking our way up toward the front, so we'll just have to see what happens. Yeah, we're going to make a few compound changes and see if it helps us a little bit.
Hope you choose correctly.
Thank you.
All right, we're ready to go in the B main. Mike Peters and Jack Hodgenchild up front. Now remember, Hodgenchild in the 18 car had that spin in the first heat, tore off the front wing, so he's going to have to work his way up to at least the top 4 finish to get into the main event, Steve.
That's right, Brock. This B feature is kind of a safety net for guys like Hodgenchild and Greg Woolley and Dave Blaney, guys you would expect to go right from the heat to the main. If they have any trouble, well, they've always got this to fall back on. It means they've got an extra race under their belt, though, and more tire wear and fuel expense than anybody else.
Oh, yeah, nobody wants to run this B main, but it's oftentimes the only way you can get to the feature. All right, we got a green. And down the front straightaway they go, and immediately challenging Mike Peters for the lead is Jack Hodgenchild in the white 18. Hodgenchild moves out, and I would imagine, Steve, unless something breaks on that car, he will drive away from the rest of the field.
Oh, yeah, and Mike Peters also just got bit by Greg Woolley in the 23 car. Woolley has now moved into the 2nd position. Hodgenchild and Woolley, and that's the way I think you would have predicted this to go in the early going.
Hodgenchild in one of the fastest, strongest cars, and a very fine driver, an aggressive driver, and he is going to move out front as the 23 car of Greg Woolley takes command of 2nd place. Right behind him, in the red 97, that is Mike Peters.
And setting it up a little further back, 61 is behind Mike Peters. That is Mike Ward. And number 2, Andy Hillenberg. He's hanging in there and still maybe in the hunt here for 2nd.
That's right. The black number 2, the local boy, basically, the Oklahoman, Andy Hillenberg, trying to move up through the field. Remember now, 4 cars will make the main event out of this mob as they roar down the front straightaway. Hodgenchild moving out to about a 10-car length lead. And there is Woolley in the 2nd spot. The red 97 of Mike Peters riding in the 3rd spot and being challenged by the white 61, Mike Ward.
Now, the only possible advantage, Brock, you could have by going to the consolation, placing the top 4 and going to the main would be you'd know the racetrack exactly as it exists right now.
Right, but dirt tracks tend to change constantly, so it's a game of guesswork, and I would imagine it's going to change even more because this racetrack is now getting some real rubber on it, and it's getting a wider and wider groove. Notice that you can run a little bit higher. Everybody not down on the bottom like they were as much as that 3-car duel continues, and there goes Mike Ward by Peters into the 3rd spot.
And that's a scary situation for Mike Peters. Let's remember, only 4 go to the main event. And if he falls any further back, that 4 is not going to include the 97 car.
Oh, you can be sure the local folks are cheering that blue and white number 23 of Greg Woolley. He's from just down the road in Oklahoma City, currently riding in the 2nd spot. But right now, Jack Hodgenchild has moved out to what appears to be an insurmountable lead.
And he's also on the last lap. The man in the green and white number 18 car, the last car in your picture, Hodgenchild being very defensive now. He's in traffic, wants to make sure he doesn't bump with anybody, and he takes the checkered flag. Jack Hodgenchild moves to the main event for the first time since he had a problem in his heat race. He can take a good, deep breath, as can all of the top 4 finishers here. Now let's go to Brock, who's with a man who put on a fine show in the Fram Dash.
Steve, I'm with Rocky Hodges, who ran a good stout 3rd after a real strong battle with Doug Wolfgang, and then you had Kinzer all over you for a while. What did you learn out there?
We learned that's just good racing right there. It's the way we like to do it. What we learned, actually, we went out there like the rest of the guys did with our feature setup. What we're planning on running in the feature. And basically, the longer we ran, the better we got. So I think we're going to leave it pretty close, just fill it back up with fuel and just basically just race it.
Okay, well, good luck. We'll be watching, Rocky.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Well, the places that really counted the final results here, the B feature, of course, the top 4. Hodgenchild, Woolley, Ward, and Mike Peters, who hung on tenaciously. Okay, let's again find Brock Yates in the pit area. Brock?
Steve, I'm with Jack Hodgenchild. It's got to be a plenty happy young man. He had some problems in that heat, remembered. DNF, came back, bent a steering arm, and then goodbye and good luck. Started from the pole and went on to win that B main in convincing style. Got to be happy.
Oh yeah, the car felt pretty good. We didn't get a chance to run it much in the heat race, so we crashed there on the first lap and got it back together, and I felt pretty good in the B. So hopefully we start pretty far back in the feature. So hopefully we can get back up through there.
Racetrack seems to be getting better, a little more of a groove than there was in the first couple of heats. And will you make any changes for the race car?
Yeah, we're pretty close now, and the track's getting a little better and getting a little rubber down. So we'll just we'll tighten the car up a little more, and hopefully we can get up through there.
We'll be watching. Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Well, he sounds like he's got some confidence for the main event coming up. In fact, they're already forming on the front straightaway. You haven't seen anything yet. When we come back, all the tough guys together in one race.